Hi, everyone. Welcome to the fourth episode of the Seek2Grow podcast. And for today, I have a very influential man in the food scene, Mr. Sahil Makhija from Headbanger Eats. And and he's a content creator who started making food content much earlier than most of the people out there. And it's an inspiration to see his journey from music to food and I'd like him to tell us a little bit about that and a lot of interesting stories in food as well. And I'll give it over to Sahil. How are you? Why don't you tell us how did it start and where did it begin?
All right. First of all, thanks for having me, and thanks for the wonderful intro. So I think my creative endeavors go back way too far into the past, but I started basically making music just after school once I got into heavy metal music, and that kind of became my focus in life. In fact, my entire life was designed around playing music and my band, and obviously, being a musician, you write songs, you put out music, but you also at some point start to create content because it was the digital age. So sort of make little video snippets, you make tour diaries and things like that. And that was something I was already doing for the band. And then it was somewhere around 2011 when YouTube had kind of come to India. We'd all got broadband connections. I was actually watching a lot of cooking videos like Epic Meal Time, the Barbecue Pit Boys. And I've always loved cooking. So at that point, I kind of thought I'd like to put my recipes out in video format. And my friend who directed the music video for my band, I asked him if he would film my recipe videos because I was already blogging on Facebook before that. And he said, yeah, I'll do that, but it sounds very boring just doing a cooking show on YouTube. So I was like, okay, let's try and create something a little more interesting. And that's how we came up with Headbanger's Kitchen, which was, I would say, my first official foray into being a content creator. Of course, at this point, it was sort of a hobby, side thing, and essentially was a way to tie things back to the music that I was making. So the idea was that I would cook a dish inspired by a band, feed that band the dish, and also interview them. So that was the concept of Headbanger's Kitchen. That was something I did for 4 or 5 years, and it didn't really do much in terms of it didn't have a lot of subscribers or a large fan base. So it didn't make any money, nor was it very popular. So it felt like a lot of effort and time being spent for not much back in return. And that's when I kind of decided I will shoot videos myself. When I have time, I'll just go back to cooking recipes. I did that for a year or so, and then I got on the keto diet.
Yes, I remember this. And you lost a lot of it, really worked for you at some time.
Yeah, I think keto works for most people, but I was making pizza out of cauliflower, and I was like, this needs to be on the internet.
Yeah.
And so I started making the keto videos. I did a few of them for like the first 3 months that I was on keto. And then I was like, yeah, I'll move on to something else. But I just kept getting more and more comments and views from people saying, hey, we love these recipes. Can you make more keto videos? I was like, okay. And the next thing you know, my subscribers have gone up to 10,000. I've made like $200-300 in a month, which is more than I made in 5 years of the channel before that. And within 6 months, I was making more than my day job, and I quit and I pursued Headbanger's Kitchen as a full-time career, making keto recipes on YouTube.
Yeah.
That was like how I started. And then from there, of course, it's evolved because keto as a diet stopped trending. I also got off the diet, and then the pandemic hit, and I was starting to order food from restaurants. I was like, I'm ordering this. Let me just sort of shoot what I'm eating.
Yep.
And that's how the food blogging started. And Headbanger Eats was the name that I gave it because Headbanger's Kitchen is where I cook things, and Headbanger Eats is where I eat things.
Yeah.
And that just over time started to take up more and more of my time. The following grew on Instagram, not the same on YouTube, but Instagram is a platform that really took to this. And then as the pandemic sort of ended and we started going out more, I started going to restaurants. Eventually, that became a food club, and here we are today with Headbanger Eats, where it is.
But definitely a thought leader in the food space. I think that's something where a lot of people see you today as, I think I was just discussing earlier that I think a lot of people find your reviews more honest than all the other, all the promotional videos out there. Let's put it that way. Everyone's just doing promo, and I think people want to see, and not many people actually say when something they don't like something. And you're the only one I've ever heard say, "Oh, I don't like this," or "I find this, this can be better," or "This could be that." Otherwise, everyone's just, doing videos where they're just going gaga over the food because they're getting paid to do that. And again, that's the promo way, the whole way of how else would you promote their restaurants?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the way the F&B space is right now. And I think it also depends on who's the food vlogger. Because what I've noticed is a lot of them actually don't do things full time. Like they don't uh, necessarily create content for a living. A lot of the food vloggers actually have day jobs. So for them, there's no sort of need to pay bills using the blogging. So I think they enjoy the free meals and they enjoy just being in the restaurant's good books as well. Like I've spoken to a lot of them. A lot of them are like, yeah, there are times we don't like things, but we just don't post it then.
Yeah.
And I understand that. Like, because obviously, if you go to a restaurant and you are being critical of the food, there's the chance that the owner, the chef will not take it well. You will not be in their good books. And then when you meet them at events, it's awkward. And most people don't want to be disliked, they want to be liked. So I understand that. And a lot of the creators, obviously, who are sort of depending on this to pay their rent, then you're like, you have to take every job. And obviously, again, no one's going to pay you to be critical of their restaurant. So I think that's just kind of how the industry is right now.
But I think that makes it very difficult for the consumer out there, because anything critical thinking is required in any part of, if we don't look at things critically, we're always going to be lambasted by mediocrity. And and it's going to, I think, yes, it's going to be some time till the industry somewhat gets to a space where critical people look at things food critically, so that the audience themselves can also take a decision for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. But like there's so much I also have learned while doing this is, food, again, while I say like, obviously there can be things that are objectively bad, like an overcooked piece of chicken is an overcooked piece of chicken no matter who eats it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like restaurant food, there are places that are more budget friendly.
Yeah.
That is going to appeal to a certain audience. There is places that are slightly more pricey, which are going to appeal to a certain audience. I would say I'm one of those people. Like, take for example the dish that I'm reviewing right now, which is tiramisu.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I know that if somebody is selling a tiramisu for 125 rupees, that's not a tiramisu.
Yeah.
But for a kid who's 17 years old, probably from like not maybe a financially well off background, 125 rupees might be, a fair amount of money for them to spend, and they eat that. They may not have the reference point that I have,
Yeah.
They might just be like, this tastes good. Like I am 43 now. When I was 20, there are a lot of things I ate that I would not eat right now, like, and that's fine, like your financial situation might change, your palate might, change. Like, I'll be honest, like till 10 years ago, I thought a Burger King beef burger in Dubai or Bangkok or Singapore was pretty good. Today, you will not find me walking into a Burger King anywhere in the world because I just know I can't enjoy that, That's my palate has changed. Like even desserts, if there is compound chocolate in your dessert, I do not want to eat it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying my palate has reached a point where it's not worth the calories and the taste for me to eat that, Like, I mean, Italian food is a great example. Like if you see a lot of Indians, we have a masaledar palate. We want that spice.
Yeah.
We want the tikha. They're not interested in food that is subtle.
Yeah.
The average Indian palate.
I think, and for some reason, I think food is getting spicier. I think
100%.
100%. It's like, we burnt our tongue so fucking much, we got to burn them some fucking more.
That's been my complaint with most restaurants. Like there are a lot of restaurants I've liked over the years, but always like they start out great, and within 6 months, all the spice levels have gone up, and I'm like, I just can't eat here anymore. Like, or I have to like specifically say, please make sure it's not spicy. And with some food, of course, you can do that. Some food you can't. So
Yeah, I agree. Certain things are like chili based, and it's where, as such, it's just, but people have like, but that's again, as I said, a palate changes. I think that's something that we started this thing on, is that you start with something a little bit more plebeian, and then you grow on to something where as you understand things, and
yeah,
like, and today, I think today you look at things that are much more compassing thing. But then again, in India, we have the divide in the income divide. So naturally, things that are cheaper cannot be held to the same standard as something that's 5 times or 10 times the price, because
exactly. And I think I would never do that as well. Like I understand, like when I'm looking for tiramisu, I know that I don't go beyond a certain threshold. But that's now.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger and I was a kid, I would have probably eaten a lot of things that, today I would not eat. So like, yeah, that's
like I think from the higher side, we understand, I think
Yeah.
from people who've eaten a higher level of food, we understand that we cannot judge the higher the same as the lower. But someone from the lower angle, that's what I'm saying, is someone from the lower angle looking at higher, sometimes they have been told something is something which is not actually the truth, firstly. And secondly, when they get the actual thing, they're like, what the hell is the truth? And then actually when they actually put a review, they're like, that's not the right thing. But because they have been taught something else. So I mean, I find this whole review game very complicated, like, you cannot satisfy everyone.
Yeah. No, so like even when I am looking at a restaurant, and that was the first thing that occurred to me, is like when we look at Zomato reviews and someone's reviewing it, how can you sort of understand anything from that review, because you don't know that person's taste. You don't know what their expectations are. Yes, obviously, like things like if service staff is rude, or if like something is undercooked, or if but like if somebody's like the risotto was tasteless, but what are they expecting? Like, is it tasteless as in was there no salt? Did they just not have chili? What was wrong with it? And I think people are not always able to express that, and I think that's kind of where you miss out. Like, if you just go and say this is bland, what does that mean? Is it because for you need like 3 packets of red chili flakes in the food for it to taste like something to you, or is it genuinely under seasoned? So I think one of the problems with reviews is like, how do you know what the reviewer's expectations are? And I think, like, even as a content creator now, most people who have been following me for say a year, 2 years, they understand my palate. They have watched enough of my videos to know, okay, like he's saying that this is spicy, but he's not saying it's like bad food. He's just saying it's way too spicy for him. So they know that they can eat spicy food, they will order it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, that was good. I'm glad I got that sort of understanding of what was there in that dish. Like if I'm reviewing shawarma, I'm like, this shawarma is stuffed with meat. It's got a good meat to bread ratio, but I don't like it because it's just stuffed with spicy sauce. But somebody else is like, oh, that's excellent. Good meat, good bread, spicy sauce. That's for me. Or somebody's like, okay, it sounds good. I think I can order it and ask them to not put the spicy sauce so I don't suffer like him. So I think you got to sort of compensate when you are sort of reading reviews to understand like what exactly you're looking for and what that person also was sort of trying to get out of that food.
And the Indian obsession with sauce.
I think it's becoming global now. Like I see it worldwide, like just people saucing things all the time.
Yeah, it is. Like, I think, yeah, it is. People just want something extra to put. And it is, as a chef, we want to give you something perfect. That's what we've been taught, that we should give you something that is set in front of you. You should not need a Tabasco, a ketchup. Like, I'm sure you've heard these stories of when people ask for ketchup, Tabasco in Europe, they get big frowns, or sometimes in some cases they're asked to even leave, because that's how a chef should actually technically give you a ready-made dish. You're not supposed. That's the thought process. We're not supposed to add or subtract.
Yeah.
Like any product that is given to you at the ending, any product, be it food or be anything, you want a complete product, right? So the chef is actually thinking, give you a complete product. But on the other hand, people want to have this feeling of putting something extra. I think it's the more than the thing. I think it's become the thing that just the feeling that I put something more into it to make it something.
Yeah. I mean, that way I think I would be one of the worst offenders then, because I take dishes but I do it at home. I'm obviously not in the maybe I have done it in a restaurant, but most of my experiments with food has been at home. Like, I'll take something from one restaurant and something else from another restaurant, and then I'll just make my own thing using that.
Yeah, I think once you take food home, it's a different story. But I mean, in the restaurant sense, that like you're being served something as an experience.
I think I would say that's more with chef-driven restaurants.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone at a McDonald's cares what you put on your French fries or what you do.
No, but there's I mean, certain dishes like burgers and all, they're expected to, those are dishes where add-ons are acceptable. But certain other like for people putting chili flakes in a pasta, for example, technically you should either order a spicy pasta, or you should just not put chili flakes in a pasta.
But I think that's now a very Indian thing, putting chili flakes on pizza and pasta. Like, it's in the DNA now.
Yeah.
Like, before even tasting it, they know that they need that packet of chili flakes.
People don't even taste. I think I don't really add chili flakes, but there are people, when they look at the pizza, they're like, first put chili flakes, then we eat.
Yeah.
Regardless of, even if there's chilies on the pizza.
Yeah. No. I guess, like, I mean, yeah.
That's why they have nowadays, like, I think two of that Fiamma, I think, or something, which comes with chili flakes on it. Pretty chili flakes on it. Which has become very popular pizza for the spicy vegetarians. What does food mean to you? Like, what is your idea of good food? Like, what would be a good meal? Describe a good meal.
I guess the simplest way to put it is something that just makes me feel happy and just tickles all my taste buds. And I'm like, there's no real way to describe it. It just makes you go, wow, that was good.
Okay.
You feel pleasure.
It's an emotional thing.
Yeah. It makes you just feel, it's like pleasure. That's the best way to put it. You feel good eating it. It tastes good. It makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah.
And that's it. That bite is just, it hits.
Yeah. Yeah, it is an emotional thing.
Yeah,
it is completely.
It's like music also. Like, how do you know a song is good? It just hits.
Yeah, it just hits.
It just hits. Like, that's the best way to describe it. Of course, then based on the dish, you can get down to the critical nitty-gritties. Yes, my rib was perfectly cooked, soft but not fall off the bone, enough chew to make me feel like I'm eating meat, seasoned to perfection. Like, obviously, you can get into the details like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is an emotional thing, I feel. And I have a lot of nostalgia when it comes to food, like, because I grew up with my father. My father was very influential in my food taste, and we had a lot of places we used to visit together. So, like, having meals in those kind of similar formats or those type of cuisines definitely hit different, like, I think, but otherwise, to have a perfect meal, for me, really, I think it's a balance. I look for a balance. Like, I'm more technical. I would say that a balance is a little bit required. And Indian food is very imbalanced, just so you know. Indian food is very imbalanced. There are a few high-end Indian restaurants that are trying to change that. But Indian food in general is very imbalanced. You're tasting spice much more than anything else. But if you can give a good balance, and naturally I'm more of a meaty guy. I like my meat and carb. I'm a meat and carb guy. Like, I think that you also, you're very meat and carb.
Yeah. Meat, I like meat, carb, vegetables. That's my daily food. Like, 100 grams of chicken, 100 grams of rice, 100 grams of vegetables. That's my daily, that's my dal chawal basically.
Yeah. And you enjoy all meats, I presume.
Yeah, I'll eat anything that's legal and tasty.
Anything.
As long as it's legal.
And not illegal.
I mean, well, legal. Actually, well, technically it is legal to eat it here.
Yeah.
It's just not legal to slaughter it here.
Yeah, I think that's a very big bone of contention, and that I don't think we want to go there.
Yeah, if you go down that route, then that'll be a different end to this podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Oh. Now, fine dining versus street food. Like what I think, as you said, you look at both differently. Are you able to appreciate both for what they are?
So, being very honest, Indian street food has never really been my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Even growing up, I mean, I rarely ate it. It's not that I don't eat it or that I haven't tried it, but most of it is vegetarian.
But I would say if not the Indian street food, I say Indian cheaper eats, because I also don't eat Indian street food. But I'm talking about the cheaper eats. They're generally
Like, what is a cheaper eat? That's the important question.
a cheaper eat would be something that's made in a smaller restaurant. Street food today, the prices of street food also is not cheap.
Yeah.
So like, I mean,
So are we talking about pav bhaji, chole bhature?
no, I'm not about the Indian street food. I'm not talking about that stuff. Because
Okay.
I'm talking about like something more up our alley, like going to like one of the, what you say, Catholic type places where they make sandwiches, they make
Like Andoras and Hirsch and
yeah, those
that
kind of
stuff.
things. That I would say that would be the cheap eat.
So again, for me, that stuff is now quality wise to keep it at the price it is.
Yes.
Doesn't quite work for me flavor wise, but obviously that's the stuff I grew up with.
Yeah.
I still love those bakery breads,
Yeah.
but do I really enjoy the other stuff as much? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Actually, I do sometimes. I do like a good chicken puff
Yeah.
or chicken patties, as they call it.
Chicken
Patties.
chicken meal roll.
But I love street food outside India. I love street food in Thailand, in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in Singapore as well. Like that's more my kind of street food,
Yeah.
like the skewers. Or if you go to Italy and you get a porchetta sandwich, that's the stuff that I love as street food.
No, I would say in Europe, street food is of is almost rivaling the quality of restaurant food over there. That their street vendors, because it's such a qualitative aspect of food over there. Sometimes even the street vendors have access to that higher quality product. So I would say sometimes it would even rival the restaurant food, but it's just where you are, where you're getting the passion, the individual that's making it for you. You could
Yeah.
even get. I would say that's a very different way of looking at that street food is as good, if not the same, and as eating in a restaurant. But you enjoy, like nowadays, fine dining, big plates, big, like less nitty gritty, flowers and these on the plates and intricate presentations.
I don't think I eat too much of that, because that to me is more what I would consider in the tasting menu space,
Okay,
which is a once a year activity for me.
once a year.
Once a year, because I don't have a huge appetite, so tasting menus I find them very overwhelming. Like it's too much food for me, at least.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel great and like I enjoy the dishes and stuff, but I'm feeling stuffed at the end of it. Like I'm uncomfortably stuffed. As opposed to a restaurant where I can go and eat like one or two dishes shared with my wife or friends or whatever, and I get to eat a reasonable portion. That's more enjoyable for me. Tasting menus is, yes, it's great to see a sort of artistic view on the food. Like I really enjoyed the tasting menu at Papa's, Trescent, even Mask when I went the first time was really good. I haven't been in a long time, but this is great to sort of see the journey of a chef, the creative vision.
That's more of an artistic.
Yeah, so but for me, that volume wise turns out to be a little more than I can eat and enjoy. By the third, fourth course, I'm like, I could stop here. And what I would rather do is skip the first four courses and eat the last four dishes. But it goes in the sequence, so you end up eating all of it. So if that's fine dine, then I enjoy that, but that's a once a year thing for me. If we're talking about fine dine and you are like places like Americano, The Table, Toast Pasta Bar, Sifa, Izumi, Mizu, if that's fine dine, Yeah, that's my daily, like that's what I would eat every week.
Okay, that's what you eat every day.
That's my kind of food, you know.
And these are the places that you generally frequent?
Yeah, these are the places whose food I enjoy. Mac Street also,
Mm.
you know, but they're all different in their own way. You know, I also do enjoy like a Khao Man Gai, which is street food, but in a little more upmarket setting for the Bombay crowd, or say a Veronica's, you know, which is um, sandwiches, but at a price point that most people will consider it fine dining. Though to me, it's not really fine dining. It's just a little more expensive dining.
Yeah, yeah, I get your point. It's yeah, but also then again, sandwiches in India. I wanted to come to that. Sandwiches in India, we're so used to having so minute fillings, but like now the newer age restaurants have come in, like Veronica's, as you mentioned, which have come in with big meaty fillings, which is something completely newer. You know,
Yeah.
like it's something new for the market. We never had such fillings. Like if you go to America, they don't heap it like everything.
Yeah.
But over here, where now it has grown a bit.
Yeah. No, I think if you look at sandwiches in India, just from our childhood, what was a sandwich? You got a chicken jungli, you'd get like a mutton roast, maybe. There'd be like the biggest sandwich you got was a club sandwich.
Yeah, that was the tallest.
That was the tallest sandwich. That was like the supreme meal
Yes.
sandwich. But other than that, there wasn't much of a sandwich culture in India. It was the bakery sandwiches, right?
Yeah, but even the filling, the amount of filling. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the amount of filling was always very thin layer.
Yeah, because that's what the sandwich was, right? Like it is what you get today in say a Marks and Spencer's, 1-2 slices of ham with like.
Yeah.
And now obviously the food scene in the last 5 years has exploded, and people need to bring something new to the table. And when you have a sort of like a hungering come in with the Veronica's and kind of sort of set that benchmark ki, like this is a proper pastrami sandwich which is loaded. You know, there are other people who follow, or people who have been doing it from before, like Mavs. Mavs was doing this in the pandemic. In fact, even Veronica's originally started out from O Pedro, the sandwich
Yeah.
shop. And it was just something unique, like giving you a good meaty sandwich. And then you had a Santa Maria pop up, and then you got a Pinto Sando, and then, Franco's Deli now, and then you've got Wynn's Smokehouse and Border Bean Barbecue. And you're starting to see like a culture of eating sandwiches, like
Yeah.
people looking at a sandwich as a meal. I think earlier sandwiches were snacks,
Yes.
party food, chutney and cheese with your samosa and your birthday cake and wafers.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's like it's a meal. It's an art to make a good sandwich.
Yeah. It is easy to make good sandwich. You know, from the bread to the
Yeah.
to the sauces to the meat. Yes, actually, a lot of work goes. I mean, I think the assembly is actually the last part of the whole thing, but the time that it takes to create everything else is fairly long.
Yeah, even to ideate the flavors,
Yeah.
what all are you going to put in your sandwich? How does each layer that you add affect the eating of the sandwich? You know, a pastrami sandwich, maybe you don't add cheese. What does that do to the sandwich? You add a pickle, or you add a jalapeno, or you add sauerkraut. Everything changes. You change the bread from milk bun to rye.
Right.
That changes the game again. So, yes, there's a lot more that goes into a sandwich than just slapping things between two slices of bread, you know?
You do a lot of sandwich, and I always see those. There's cross section cuts. That's your like signature cross section cut.
Just look at that
cross section. Yeah, it's very meaty, juicy cross sections out there. Sandwiches have become such a big part of the diet, I think, today, and it's a very good thing to see. For you, taste versus presentation. Is it taste? Is it all about taste, or is presentation also? How important is presentation to you?
Taste, always. Taste is the most important thing. Ugly delicious, as David Chang said. You know, like a lot of times things may not look as great, but if they taste good, you can forgive the visual aspect. If it looks great, doesn't taste great, there's not much you can do with it.
Yeah.
Literally.
So there's a lot of restaurants I see today are have a lot of serving gimmicks. Let's just put it in that way. And unfortunately, the taste doesn't live up to the whole hype. You know, like recently I went and I had some flaming dish somewhere, and it was just, I saw that flaming dish maybe 20, 30 times on on social media, but going and having that dish, it was like extremely underwhelming. I think that's something that it's all about the gram, and that though it is important, I think taste is everything. We need to remember that it's what we put in the mouth. Yes, everyone says today, there's this new thing: you eat with your eyes. But I was just saying to you, if they really want to eat with their eyes, they can take up a picture and just look at it, and they can enjoy that. No, if the eyes were so important, then yeah, you can Google will give you many nice eye eating photos.
Yeah, I think what I realized actually, and this is something I've learned after going out, eating a lot, talking to chefs, restaurants, is what? Everyone doesn't look at food the same way, first of all.
Yeah,
Like,
I look
for a
at.
lot.
Why do I don't look. I personally don't have a very unique way of looking at food, and that's why very few people have actually. Whoever's appreciated my food has been very. It's a very. I'm not the regular type of my palate is very different, and so this is exactly. Please continue. Please continue.
No, so what I was trying to say is like a lot of people visit a restaurant for very different reasons. Like a lot of people, food is actually secondary when they go out, and which is why I think we have a lot of places that are more about the vibe and the atmosphere and the gimmicks in the food. Because like a simple thing I noticed, like when I hang out with like my band guys also, when the food comes, one of the band members is just sitting and drinking and chatting with fans and or people, and they don't care that the food has come and it's going cold. I'm like, I have to eat the food first, like, because that's the priority, the food. But for a lot of people, when they go out, they're drinking, they're chatting, the food, it comes and it just sits and they will eat it and pick at it through the night, and it's not about that food experience for them. And I think that's okay, and I guess that's why we're always going to have restaurants where the food is not the center stage, you know. Like it's those pick me up cakes, for example. I hate them. They're horrible. They look terrible. You just pick it up and the cake just vomits all over the plate. But I went to the restaurant, spoke to the chef. He's like, the crowd that comes here loves this cake. I'm like, yeah, okay, then keep it on the menu, because at the end of the day, they keep coming back for that cake. I'm not the one who's going to be at that restaurant 20 times in a month, And for whatever reason, people do like a show, whether it's for the gram, whether it's just makes the night special for them. I think as a foodie, I go there and I'm like, I just want delicious food and I want polite service. You give me those two things, I'm okay. If your presentation is not the most fancy, I'm okay with that. Does the food taste good? If it's good, I'm there.
Yeah, it's you're a traditionalist when it comes to that.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, I go out to eat good food.
You're
Other
not
people go out for social.
Yeah, there's a whole social impact over there.
Yeah,
So.
like people are like, I want to hang out with my friends and eat food at the same time, and some of them are like, I want to eat good food also with my friends. And I'm like, yeah, I just want good food, whether it's alone with a group of people or this thing. And if the food comes, I want to eat the food first. I don't want to sit and wait for it to get cold. And all that.
You're there to eat.
I'm there to eat. That is the focus.
You're not there to chit chat and
I'll finish the dish first and then I can chit chat.
But you're not there to look at the eye candy, find something. Everyone else has got their own purposes while they're going out. So, any trends that you enjoy in the Mumbai food scene that have been upcoming apart from sandwiches that we just spoke about?
I don't know about trends, but I definitely like when restaurants focus on just one cuisine.
Okay.
For me, I feel sometimes less is more. When you do a good job of something, and I like that meat is starting to get a bit of a center stage now. Whether it's through the sandwich shops or burgers, I like that people are eating more meat now. The problem is they're eating only chicken, but
yeah, but I would say also the way meat is being eaten, it's become in a very, like, people want to have the bigger and the more, like, it has to be packaged in a way that in a very how to say, like a sandwich, in a way that they're not really having to cut it or do that. That's also a thing with meat eating today.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so the truth is a lot of vegetarians are no longer vegetarians.
Yes.
They're all eating boneless chicken outside the house, and they're eating even buffalo sometimes or pork. But yeah, they don't like to feel like they're eating an animal. So it's all got to be boneless or in a form that is sort of easily palatable for them. Which at this point I'm okay with. Eventually they will hopefully come down to the point where they're comfortable knowing that it's an animal and there's a bone somewhere there.
Yeah.
You know. But it's good to just see that the way the scene is evolving and we're getting more and more options. You know. I can only look at that in a positive sort of way.
Anything you do not like that's happening in the scene?
100%. The over spicification of everything, just putting spicy sauce where it's not needed. You know, I think that for me, that's always been a pet peeve. Like, look, I know people watch me and they're like, oh, you have zero spice tolerance, blah, 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 blah. How you have no taste bud, blah, blah, whatever. They go on rants about my spice. But here's the thing, I never chase spicy food. I only have a problem with foods that were never meant to be spicy being made spicy. You know, I won't go and eat like a Hyderabadi biryani and complain about the spice because I know it is meant to be spicy. Like, I know that. Like, if I'm going to eat a pav bhaji, I know there is some amount of spice in it. But when I'm going to eat French fries, don't put red chili powder on it by default without a warning saying spiced fries. That's all I'm asking for. You know, or if you're putting jalapenos in a pepperoni pizza, right there, jalapenos. I'll give you a good example. I went to a restaurant and ordered a grilled cheese sandwich. Now, the grilled cheese sandwich clearly said 4 kinds of cheese, onions, leeks or something it said, and it said hot sauce. Now, obviously, I told the chef or the wait staff, I would like it without the hot sauce. No hot sauce. But there are chopped green chilies in the grilled cheese. Why would you do that? Like,
why? But then they should have called it a chili cheese.
Yeah, call it a chili cheese, or in your ingredients, write there green chilies. Like, it's not hard, you know. Like, that's my pet peeve. Spice in things like tikha, in things that don't require tikha.
No, I'll tell you in a more technical way. I'll explain to you. There is a taste receptor in our tongue which tingles when especially when you're putting spice in it. It tingles.
It's your pain receptors.
Not pain.
No, it's actually your pain receptors. I have read up on this because I have to have this argument with everyone who tells me about spicy food.
So then, when you eat the food that's not spicy, those receptors aren't
you don't feel anything. Yeah.
So you feel that the food is not stimulating you enough. But and so that's why and slowly you eat spicy food, you get your spice tolerance, you need spicier food so that the stimulation of that.
Yes, because people don't know that there's no spice receptor on your tongue. Your tongue does not taste spicy. It tastes salty, sweet, sour, bitter. Like, it does not taste tikha. So that's a pain receptor it's like you get punched in the face enough times, you won't feel anything. You know, if you do this every day, it's like, this I won't feel because this is light. But if you actually punch me hard and you punch me hard every day for a year, probably the second day I can take that punch.
Do you think it's possible through all that spice for them to actually taste anything more than it?
I'm sure you taste something. I'm not saying you'll taste nothing else. But again, the primary thing is that feeling that you get when you eat spicy food, which is what people want and crave. So then you need to probably amp up the salt as well, or the sugar, or the sourness.
Everything else would have to be amped up, and
because you have to cut through that, right? Like, it's a mix of things.
It would be it would be challenging.
But it's like, it's what do they want to primarily taste, right? It's that. Because the rest of it you're tasting. You're not feeling it the same way. Like, spice you actually feel. Lip burn, inside burn, outside burn, outside on the way out also burns. So that is a feeling, like, people enjoy that feeling. Like, it's the same reason I guess people do martial arts and boxing and all. They get a high from it, like getting punched in the face or whatever. So this is like a food version of it.
You think it's a self-inflicted pain. Ordering in versus going out.
So, I enjoy both, I think. Obviously, prior to my food blogging years, I rarely went out because my whole goal in life was to stay at home and work on the band, the music, something or the other. And also, I had no money, so I did not really care to go
You
out.
didn't do.
very often.
You had no other day job as such.
I had a day job. I used to work in a recording studio when I dropped out of college. I joined a recording studio, worked there for about 4 years. Then I worked with
as a sound engineer.
yeah,
What?
sound engineer. Trained on the job only. There were no schools in Bombay at that time. And then I joined Fatados and I worked with them for 11 years.
Oh,
So I
wow.
would actually go to office for a lot of my working years. And at some point, I was like, I need to start working from home so I can focus more on the music. Though the music doesn't pay, still doesn't pay and will never pay. But the dream was there and I wanted to pursue it no matter what. So I would rarely go out to eat, like once in 3 months maybe.
Okay.
Like that, me and Dipti would, or maybe once a month at best. Like
Okay.
Dipti and I would go out and eat somewhere. But ordering home, mostly mom and dad would order and we'd just be part of it.
Yeah.
So, Sunday ritual was Chinese food.
Yeah.
So mostly Sundays were spent eating Chinese food. Sometimes,
Which is a good Chinese spot.
so over the years, like a gazillion have come and gone from where I used to live in Juhu. But I think, like for a long time, China Gate has been the staple.
Oh, that's been the staple.
Yeah. Before that, there was this place called Vayu Munching in the gullies of Kolivada somewhere. It was run by a guy called Ashish, who now runs Soul Food. And he does that seafood boil.
Okay.
So I found this out by chance when I met him. That I was like, I can't believe you used to run that restaurant. We used to order from there all the time. And there was this one place opposite my house called On the Rocks, which later became Aroma and now is called New Grand. But it's still been the exact same menu and the exact same food for like the last 25, 30, I don't even know how many years now.
Like proper Desi Chinese.
Desi Chinese? No, so it's like one of those Mughlai and Chinese.
Okay.
So, so parents would order the tandoori chicken or something and I'm like, give me the fried rice.
But coming back to this, haven't you realized the menus that you see in India are the largest menus you see anywhere else in the world?
I feel like in the UK and Europe, the Chinese restaurant menus were huge.
But I mean, in general,
in general, most restaurants here have really big menus. Like
it's a little.
I think I was talking to Nikhil from Mac Street. He was like, we have 92 items on the menu. I'm like, what?
No, but that's like
that's insane.
I think that's nothing. I've seen some menus, especially like there's Indian, there's Chinese, there's pizza, there's Italian, there's burger, there's whatnot. Like
see, that's a red flag for me. The moment I go to a new restaurant and I see butter chicken next to pizza, next to
and now sushi also added. Sushi's also become like a regular one now.
Yeah, like that's a red flag. So where I'm okay with it is the old school restaurants, which is Chinese section and Indian section.
Yeah, Punjabi.
That much is that is fine. That they can manage.
It's either Punjabi Chinese or Mughlai Chinese.
Correct. The moment they get into pizza, sushi, pasta, and on the other side Thai curry, butter chicken, and whatever else, that's like a no-go. That's like, this is the place that wants to cater to everybody after they've had 5 drinks. Literally.
But do you feel like you see these videos of people in the West and in Asia, they like wait in line to go and have that specific dish from that specific restaurant. I think that's very rare for thing happening here, or maybe it's just starting here.
I mean, to be fair, I think lines have always existed.
Yep.
Maybe not in the same way, because I remember there was always a 45-minute wait at Yoko's no matter when you went. Yeah. Like Yoko's Sizzlers, always 45 minutes. Of course, now you've got in Bandra, it's almost like if you get a little bit of publicity and you put out a good product, because the size of the restaurants, lines form.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Like if it's worth it, if you find it worth it standing in line, go for it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you'll stand one time and then you'll never go back. So,
but I mean that in the sense that people want to eat. They want to eat that specific from that specific restaurant.
I think here it's more about going to a particular restaurant and
eating
eating something that, because the dietary habits are so varied here, right?
Yeah, that's actually, yes, you're right. I think that's a very big thing that comes, we have to remember, is that you have First you have the vegetarians, then you have the Jains, and now you have the vegans and the gluten frees.
And the white sugar free, and the spice intolerant, and the pescatarian, and the one who eats only non-veg on other days except Tuesday. So
So yeah, you got a lot of people
quite a lot.
to
There are like all these memes and reels about this, the different kinds of non-vegetarians in India. Eats only boneless chicken, does not eat non-veg on Tuesday and Thursday. One who can only eat like cold cuts. So you got all different kinds of eaters.
yeah, right. It's the the dietary restrictions are self-imposed, I would feel,
They're
but
plentiful.
and plentiful, and they change by the hour.
Yeah.
Um, so I'd like to your picks. We'd like to go into some of your picks, and because you're the one I feel who's really got the pulse right now of what's happening in the market.
The pressure is on.
Yeah. So a date night with Dipti.
Oh, okay. So if we're going on date night, my top 5 picks would be The Table in
Okay.
Colaba, Americano
Good
in
choice.
Fort,
Top choice.
Toast Pasta Bar in
Okay.
Lower Parel, um, Izumi
Okay.
for sure, and Mag Street,
Max Street. Which one?
the Bandra one.
The band. No, not the
No,
Kulala.
no, the Bandra one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Though I'm sure Dipti would not pick Mag Street because she's not been there too many times. I think maybe I think she'd pick Bang.
Okay. Bang's the new
The
new
newly
kid on
opened
the
one,
block.
because that's a restaurant she really likes right now. So I would put Bang on the list just because I know she likes it right now quite a lot.
But again, all these places you mentioned are quite loud places to some extent.
So we go for the 7:30 seating, so it's never loud.
Okay.
That's the trick to date night is go for the 7:30 seating, don't go for the 9:30 seating.
Yeah, these are quite packed. Like, I mean, some of them aren't, they aren't spaced. Some of them are quite huddled together. You're quite huddled.
Yeah, I'll give you tips also. Never book on the day you want to go. Make your reservation at least 5 days in advance. People are always telling me I don't get a table at this restaurant. Then I find out when I ask them, they are calling the day they want to go. No wonder they don't get tables. You have to call at least 5 days in advance.
But who here knows their plan 5 days
See,
in
if you
advance?
love food, you will make the plan 5 days in advance. That is for sure.
So you know what meal you're having in 5 days?
I know what I'm having every day for the next week, I think.
So
Today is your house.
Yeah.
Tonight is at home. Tomorrow is I'm going for a tasting. Then I'm going for a party in the night. Then Saturday I have a friend over. Then Saturday night I've got a meetup at Mizu. Then Sunday afternoon I've got another meetup. Then Sunday night I've got another meetup with my premium members. Then Monday afternoon I've got a Royal China lunch with the family for Diwali. See, I've literally got every meal marked out. That's like,
So we could say you live to eat.
yeah, I mean, eating is like literally eating is my job now. So I literally do not eat unless I'm paid or I'm working or like it's my own food that I'm eating off the job.
Okay.
Like people think it's really glamorous to be like a food blogger or whatever, like, oh, you get free food or whatever. Honestly, I'm sick of free food. I don't want free food. Like, I have to be that obnoxious guy who walks into a restaurant and tells the staff, listen, just in case you're planning to send a free dish, don't.
Hmm.
Like, because, I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, now I get recognized at most restaurants.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'll want to send like a free dessert or something. I'm like, I just don't have the stomach space to eat it. Of course, if I'm there with the serial eaters, send all the free dishes you want. They're all happy to eat it for me,
Yeah.
on my behalf. But like, yeah, it's actually like it is work for me to eat. So, when people are like, oh, just come and taste, like, can I send you like food? I'm like, no, I can't accept any free food now because I just literally don't have the calorie allowance or the space in my timetable.
Yeah, I can. It's a very unique issue to have.
Yeah.
Very unique issue to have.
And I'm not complaining. I would rather do this than anything else, just in case anyone comments
Okay.
below.
A meaty binge. Where would you go for a meaty binge?
Okay, so I need a clarification first. What are we talking when we say meaty binge?
A meat-filled meal, like something that you really, a a heavy meal, like a nice heavy.
So not specifically to a meat only place.
No, yeah, no.
Okay, in that case, it would pretty much be all the same places I said before. So for me, places that do really good meat. Okay, wait. Gather my thoughts. Yeah, because see, there's so much meat. There's beef, there's pork, there's fish, there's chicken.
Okay, your best buff places.
Okay, best buff places. So I would say I would definitely go to Saz for the steak because they want steak wars. I would definitely do the table because they have an incredible steak and an epic veal shank. I would definitely go to Izumi for the kakuni pork as well as the ramen as well as the other pork belly dish they have. Mr. Chow's maybe for home delivery. Something for home delivery. I
Yeah.
would say Mr. Chow's. There I need 10 at least here.
You okay?
I need at least 10 places for meat. Wait, we should separate this into sandwich type meat and we should separate into restaurant.
Yeah.
So if we're doing sandwiches, I would definitely be doing Pinto, Sando and Malad for amazing meat sandwiches. I would be doing, if Santa Maria was around, I would have done Santa Maria for sure. Veronica's, 100%. Mav's, Cakes and Bakes, has amazing sandwiches as well. And then I would probably do one last sandwich. Maybe Sifa actually. She has an incredible tenderloin sandwich that is off menu now. So I'd probably pick these five.
I think they have it on the they have it, but it's at the end
You
of
have,
the.
to, you have to ask for it now.
No, it's the end of the menu. I think it's there. I've seen the sandwich burger menu.
So
at
I
the end.
think these five would be my like go-to for like sandwich meaty meals. Now if we're talking plated meals, I would do Saz. I would do the table. I would probably do La Panthera.
Okay.
Just because their steak tartare is to die for.
I was supposed to go there the other day.
Yeah, he does it on a 15-layer potato. So it's outstanding. Probably Izumi again because I just love the array of dishes they have. The robata grill and stuff. Oof. And then maybe fifth one, let's see. Let's do Mag Street because they do have steak, they do have a burger, they do have pizza. Yeah, so those are my top five, which I've already forgotten.
Indian food.
Okay, so because of the amount of mirchi masala in Indian food, my stomach is not good with it, but I do enjoy Indian food. And if I have to pick 5 Indian food restaurants that I would go to eat, and this is going to be an interesting one because I would pick O Pedro first.
Okay.
I would pick Bombay Canteen.
Yes.
Okay, those are my top 2. I would definitely add Pin Code Delhi for Chole Bhature on that list.
They
have a restaurant in Andheri East.
Yeah.
They won my Chole Bhature wars. I would definitely add them for the Chole wars. I would put probably Tressin for their incredible tasting menu. And I would put Papa's.
But Papa's is like a mix, right?
No, it's Indian food.
Oh.
Just done with like all sorts of international ingredients.
Okay.
But if I'm not allowed to count that, then I can pick an alternative.
Okay, we'll call it Indian food for the.
It's all Indian food technically.
Yeah. Breakfast.
Ooh. So I have done a lot of breakfasts, and while
I know this, the serial eaters often go for breakfast, right?
Mainly because that's the easiest one to plan.
Yeah.
So okay, breakfast, Mavs once again. Have the Irish breakfast and take a friend. She does black pudding, white pudding, proper bangers as well. None of that cold storage sausage, proper bangers.
Yeah.
So I would definitely put Mavs, Mag Street for sure.
Hmm.
The best salmon eggs Benedict in the city. Bougie, 100% because I love the avocado toast with poached egg. Just simple, perfect. I would then add, let's do Bene Dosa. For a nice Bene Dosa. Actually, no, wait, I'll put Ram Ashray for breakfast. If I have to eat South Indian, that has been, I think, the best one so far. And the final breakfast I would put will be. Damn, this is a tough one. Finding the fifth one. Fifth one, who would we put? Let's put Sabko.
Sabko.
Yeah.
But not all Sabko serve food, right?
The Bandra Mary Lord
I
Sabko.
think only one
Yeah,
serves food.
I would put them.
Yeah, only one serve. Because I've gone to some, they only serve some bananas,
Yeah.
some like puffs and all that.
Yeah, they have a lot of outlets now.
Yeah. So that's where you have to be careful. That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I remember that one. What's always in your fridge?
Always in my fridge, I would have eggs. I would have some steaks.
Okay.
And
not from this state, right?
Not from this state. Eggs, steak, always have some kind of sauces, like a huge collection of sauces. So we just call it assorted sauces. Oh, I always have some kind of sauerkraut or white kimchi or any one of those kombucha condiments, because it's like the perfect sort of sandwich stacker. So, or a neo pickle, yeah. I'll put them in one category only because they're like condiments.
Yeah.
And I'd have some kind of sourdough bread in my freezer.
Okay, always.
Some kind of bread, yeah.
Your guilty pleasure?
Chole bhature. Always, all day, every day, chole bhature.
That's your guilty, yes. And the best meal that you've ever had?
Okay. I think this is actually impossible to say because I feel you tend to forget meals, and a lot of meals may never taste the same when you go back and eat them.
Yeah.
It's the memory that you kind of remember. So I would say there are 3 meals that I had that are etched in my memory forever as the top 3 of my life, in no particular order. First one is in Florence in Italy. There was a vendor with a porchetta sandwich. He had one big porchetta, he slices it, puts it in bread and gives it to you. That is hands down one of the best pork dishes I've ever eaten in my life. Second one, Bangkok in Siam Center at the Food Republic food court. The first time I ate Hainanese chicken rice.
Okay.
It blew my mind. I could not believe it. And it was all in that sesame oil and soy, the sauce that they gave. It was so good. And the rice cooked in that chicken fat and stock. And the third one in Bali. Walking from the hotel in, actually this is a mix actually between Thailand and Bali, because both places we just stopped at a random cart doing pork skewers. So obviously in Thailand it was mooping, and in Bali I don't know what they call it.
It's called satay babi.
Satay babi. And it was just one lady with a cart, and I just stopped, and it was like 70 rupees for like 7 skewers. It was, what is like this even? This is so cheap.
Yeah.
And that taste, fresh grilled meat
is
straight from there to your hand into your mouth. It does not get better.
It's something primitive, and I know we have our kebabs and all, but nowadays with the restrictions, it's very difficult to serve with live coal fire. But if you could do that more, I'm sure a lot more people would eat it.
Yeah, and before anyone gets offended about me being anti-Indian for not liking kebabs or anything, say ghar ki murgi dal barabar. Because we grew up eating kebabs, so it's not as special as
Yes, kebabs. I'm not saying, and I would say, Indians actually, because we have very limited things in grilled food, because we didn't grill that much. We literally only do kebabs, and then we have the tandoor, which is our greatest invention and export now.
Oh yeah.
And where would you want to travel to eat? Is there any place you want to travel next?
Yes, I would love to visit Japan.
I just thought about that because you mentioned every other country but Japan.
Yeah.
And now actually I think is the right time to go to Japan with what's happening in the world, with the currency and all. That's what everyone's saying.
Yeah. So Japan is one place on my bucket list. I would love to go to Japan and try the food there. Pretty much that. Japan.
And any meal in particular that's on your bucket list?
Meal. I mean, there are definitely a couple of things that I would love to try. And off the top of my head now, one of the things I would love to try is one of those meals in the Middle East where they take a goat and they stuff it with a chicken, which is stuffed with like chicken and eggs, and they just cook it.
Yeah, underground.
Like one of those, or one of those, like, I keep seeing all these viral videos of, I think in like Uzbekistan or somewhere, where they make these giant pulaus with these huge chunks of meat in this, like to
Yeah.
feed 300 people. Like, I just want to try one of those.
Yeah.
Probably like those are things I would be really interested to try. And of course, I would, I guess, love to eat. There are too many problems. Like, I want to eat so many different things. But definitely any kind of whole animal roast is always.
I've invited you many times and you never come.
I know.
so don't say that. I've invited you many times.
Yes.
That's something I specialize in.
Yes, the pork, the full. Because the pork one is normal, because I've had that when Chris has done it also. I've had it like few times, Babi Guling in Indonesia as well.
Yeah.
So that I'm thinking maybe like a whole camel.
Have you had camel meat?
No, I haven't. I have no idea what it tastes like.
No, I don't think it's quite nice.
And I'm just trying to think, like, is there any like particular restaurant? Oh yes, I know. Of course, the most important one that I've said always, Franklin's Barbecue in Texas. That is my the bucket list to go to and eat at. That is one place and one meal I would like to eat.
Okay.
Yeah, Franklin's Barbecue Platter.
And you want to have the full the sausage, the ribs,
Everything,
the brisket, the OG American style barbecue platter. Yeah, I think that's.
But I need like 7, 10, 20 friends to eat that platter.
Yeah, it's a huge portion.
Yeah, I've just been like, I watch all these videos. I'm like, how do, like, Americans can't be eating this alone. There must be like a group of people.
No, their portions are wild. Their portions are wild. I mean, like, I don't think, like, if you were to look at the European portions versus American portions, it's still another level.
Yeah.
It's another fun level. Like we like, I mean, their large portion is just really, really, really large.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I don't know if they've made it a sort of, standard that you order something as such, it should be a large portion.
Yeah.
Like once I ordered a steak, I remember I was in America with my father, and we ordered a steak, and I said, I want to eat. The steak came without sides, so we ordered one sides. The sides was quite expensive. So steak was maybe about $60-$70, and then $30 for sides. He's telling me what. Okay, you ordered the fine, huge platter came, 4 types of potatoes, and that's your side. They forced you to order that.
That's like a meal for 2.
Like, we couldn't even finish the sides, and he was looking at me and he told me, you ordered so much, you made me order this, and now what to do with it because it's so big.
My folks, whenever they went to America, the story would be, oh yeah, we ate here, and then we took a doggy bag home, and then that was the next meal for all 4 of us. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah, it's like the portions over there are thing, but that's why the obesity is also going big, and they're trying to figure that out. I think
now Ozempic sales are on the rise.
No, that's something that I am very against. I've tried it, and it's not it really does have very negative long-term effects, and I think it should only really be used in the most extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
It is not like, yes, there are circumstances where you're already facing heavy issues as such. There's certain men who some women have such problems. They're blazing health issues in their face, and if this helps them lose weight, which can save them from that, it's fine.
Of course.
If you're just a little overweight and you're not facing any real health issue, this is going to start more health issues for you some later. You might not see it today. The day you choose to get off it, is where it's really going to start the issues. And it's not, and unlike some other drugs help repair your body. This drug doesn't do anything for you. It just introduces something into your body which helps with the digestion. And the moment you remove it from your body goes back to digesting the same way it used to.
Right.
So it's a very thing, and it eats everything. It eats muscle, it eats fat indiscriminately.
Yeah.
So like someone like me, I had a lot of muscle, and it actually ate a lot of my muscle. And rebuilding that muscle took me a good 6-8 months. It really was. I never experienced anything like that when I got off it. It was really something awful.
Yeah, I guess people should just consult a doctor before doing any kind of.
Definitely, because look, doctors over here will give you anything. In India, they're more willing to do. They're more willing to get to listen to you also. Than I think doctors elsewhere. They're more understanding. But I still think it's an easy route, but has to be done in a very, very controlled environment, and the people who do it should know that there is something coming to them later.
Right.
It's not because these drugs are still very new. There are some now lawsuits in America which have just started. So it's all like it's like the vaccines. I was not happy I got vaccinated, but we all did it at that time.
I'm very glad that everyone has gotten vaccinated because vaccines save lives.
Okay, on that note, I think let's end the show. And it was really nice having this conversation with you. And I hope to.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here.
I hope to see more of your culinary journeys and you very soon at Franklin Barbecue, and at least getting through some of it.
Don't worry, I will take a cereal eater steam with me to finish the food.
Okay, take care. Nice to see you.
Thanks, man.
Bye bye.